So real quick, I want to put a disclaimer out there. As I was making this video, I kind of got on a rant and I referred to Bad Newz as Burke Bucks like several times throughout this video. And I make a couple other slip ups. Just ignore that. Anytime you hear me say Burke Bucks, just picture Bad Newz. I was trying to go back and like edit it, but it was a lot. It's like a lot. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Hope you still enjoy the video. And yeah. What's good, everybody? Today I was scrolling through YouTube and, looking at a lot of battle rap content as I do. And, I was starting to see a lot of backlash about the URL Ultimate Madness results. For those of you that don't know, URL is Ultimate Rap League, is a battle rap league that's been around for over 10 years. I want to say since 2009. They are hosting currently a 16-man tournament through the streaming app Caffeine. And they had a series of battles this past weekend, which was the second week, and then a series of battles the weekend before that. So basically, week one, they did one side of the bracket. And then week two, they just did the other side of the bracket. So the first round of battles were these first 2 weeks. The tournament itself, the 16-man tournament, is to decide which of these 16 battlers goes home with $25,000, which is a lot, And yeah, so a lot of people have been having issues with this, with the whole system. Well, mainly the results, it seems, and the real issues I've been seeing is just with the week two. To be fair, I only really watched the battles from week two. I was on Caffeine Saturday, watched all 4 battles. I had my opinions about it. Pretty much the people that won were the people that I figured were going to win. Just watching the battles. It's definitely a different format. Having to watch the battle live once and not being able to stream it. I'm not somebody that's really been to many live battles. So I usually watch my battles via YouTube where you can roll it back and all this other stuff. But that's neither here nor there. The biggest issues this week are with the two battles. Ace Amin versus Burke Bucks and Bigg Hann versus Brooklyn Hanz. Now, in the first battle, Ace Amin versus Burke Bucks, people, while I was watching the live stream and, watching some of the recap videos the battlers are doing through like Hip Hop Is Real, a lot of people feel like Burke Bucks should have won the battle. And a lot of people feel like, Ace Amin only won because of the paperwork. They feel like the judges that were picked, didn't do a good job, or some of the judges. If I didn't mention, it's also so how they're judging the battles. They have 4 judges. For those of you that don't know, these 4 judges are battle rap, chosen from the battle rap media. So these are people that have been around for several years. Uncle Ross from 15 Minutes of Fame, which has been around for a very long time in battle rap. Tony Bro has Black Compass Media. He's been around battle rap for a long time, way before Black Compass. You have Rita, who is part of the Champion brand, which is by Jay Black. Jay Black himself has been around since 2009. And Champion's been around for the last 3-4 years. Rita's been on it for the last 2 years, I'd say. And you have Knowledge the God from Hip Hop Is Real, who, is one of the more popular battle rap media outlets right now. So those are your 4 judges. These aren't just random people picked off of the street. These are people that obviously talk about battle rap. You can see them on camera talking about it, interviewing people. They've been around the culture. They know what they're talking about. But yet and still people feel like they weren't the right judges that were picked. Now, I think ultimately what this comes down to is, for the first time in a long time, because we're jumping from a format where URL is unjudged battles primarily, and this tournament are actually judged battles in succession. So it's tournament style. It's you either win or lose, and then you have to go up against somebody else who was decided by judges, and then whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. That's very different for the consumers to have to digest, I think. It's different because you have to now sit as a viewer of battle rap, as a fan of battle rap, and watch somebody who you may like more than the other person go down and take an L, because that's what the judges felt like happened. And for me, somebody that's been listening to battle rap for past 12 years, be it Grind Time, Smack DVD, Fight Club, I remember watching the Freeway vs. Cassidy battle, Jump Off TV back in the day. Like, I'm very familiar with people going, this person wins, this is who we judge to win, here's what it is. I don't know, I didn't always agree with it back then, but I know what it is. I learned a long time ago in battle rap, whether you feel, regardless of how you feel about a battle, there's a consensus. There's usually a consensus. And especially in judge situations, it's not what you feel, it's what the judges felt at the time. Like watching Grind Time, when they had primarily judge battles, it was crazy. I watched a lot of battles where I sat there and I felt like somebody should have won, and the judges gave it to somebody else. It was what it was. I watched the Jump Off, the World Rap Championships. It was the same way. I watched, we talking about URL. I watched UFF, Ultimate Freestyle Friday. They had it, like 2 years in a row. There were some battles I watched where I felt like, you know what? I don't like this person, but I mean, they won because this is what the judges say. Like, you have to sit with that. And I feel like right now this is just a real rejection of that, because we've been told in battle rap so long. Even you look at Smack with some of the stuff he said. We don't want to make the battles judged because we like the feeling where the fans can decide who won. And that's beautiful, from a creative standpoint, from an artistic standpoint, from a cultural standpoint. You just let you let hip hop decide who it is. Like, it's a beautiful sentiment. But then the reality is the everything in this universe, in our universe, comes with consequences. If you do something, there's a ripple effect that happens from you doing that. If you don't do something, there's a ripple effect that happens from that. The ripple that came from not having judge battles for so long in battle rap is people got used to, every battle is debatable. I sat here, again, I watched battle rap for 12 years, over a decade. I sat here and watched an era in battle rap 10 years ago where people would just be like, I felt this person won. Unashamed. I sat and watched the transition of people going, hey, I feel like this person won, to, you know what? I felt like this person won, but I don't want to sound biased or nothing. So, I could understand if you said this person won, to, you know what? It's 2-1 either way. It's debatable. It's just like, you can't win in this era of battle rap. It's like the fans want to have their opinion of who won, but they also don't want to come off as like, we're dick riding one of the battlers, not the other one. Unless it's a situation like this where they feel like clearly somebody should have won. It's beautiful, I think, because you get to see people's true feelings come out. It's this whole tournament is making it where winning in battle rap actually matters now. It hasn't mattered really in a long time. Like, the UFF thing was probably the closest thing we had to that. In a long time, honestly, where battlers, they're putting their pride on the line, and, in front of a series of judges who may or may not have them as their preference. And, what you put on the table is judged, and you could walk away for loss. Somebody's walking away only 1 out of 16 people is going to walk away with this win. You hear a lot of the older battle rappers, like your Mavs, your Hollow the Dons, your Arsenals, your Mooks, your everybody that battled in Fight Club talk about how, you know, you were just battling. You didn't know who you were battling. Whoop-de whoop-de whoop. You hear like people talk about the recycle era where it's like, oh yeah, everybody would just rap the same verses, whatever. It's just like you had to have something ready for every person. And it was about winning. It wasn't about, you know, trying to just look good in the battle or whatever. You had to do what you had to do to win. And that's what mattered. And then we've gotten so far away from it now where it's like, who's the most exciting? Who gets the most views? Who's the most entertaining? Which, you know, taking a step back, those things matter, but you got to look at the bigger picture. If you put somebody in front of a series of judges, you gotta sit there and accept whoever the judges pick. It is what it is. Like, people feel like, I'm gonna just say it. People, when I'm scrolling through the comments, people feel like Rita, you know, robbed Burke Bucks because she felt like he got played into talking about the paperwork or the supposed paperwork that Ace Amin may or may not have had in the manila folder for him, and he ended up rapping about something that Ace Amin never even touched on. You know, that's her reason for judging. You know, battle rap, the beautiful thing about it is, the beautiful thing about anything is judging something is not judging art is not a universal, this is how it's supposed to be. These are the sets of rules we're going to follow. If you live up to these rules, it's acceptable. If you don't, it's not acceptable. Rap has not been like that for since its impetus. Battle rap has not been like that. You know, there's certain styles and certain eras and certain attributes that, you know, win over certain crowds. But it's never been like, hey, this is the universal set of rules that everybody's going to abide by. And because if it was, it's like, what would be the point of having multiple judges? You just have the objective rules, and whether or not somebody can apply to those rules would determine if they won or not. Or whoever gets closer to that idea of, you know, let's just say, oh, you know, clever wordplay, direct bars, you know, certain level of aggression or whatever, vocal, whatever it was. If person lived up to this, said battle rapper lived up to this, they win. If it was that kind of thing, we wouldn't need multiple judges. But the reality is there is no agreed upon set of rules in battle rap. And there will never be an agreed upon set of rules in battle rap. You know, you got people from different walks of life that watch this stuff. You got people from all over the world that watch this stuff. You got people that watch battle rap for different reasons. You got people that got into it at different eras, that are used to different styles of rapping, used to different forms of entertainment when it comes to rapping. Some people, you know, when it was the Tech 9 era, where Tech 9 was basically the king on URL and nobody wanted to smoke except DNA, people were like, oh no, it's supposed to be bars over jokes, because Tech 9 was joking the fuck out of this and nobody could do anything with him, you know? And then until DNA battled him and Tech 9 slipped up, Tech 9 was unbeatable at that time, with jokes on a league that was supposed to be like, oh, you got to out-rap your opponent. And the people in the crowd loved it. They loved that he would joke. But that was that era. Some people liked hardcore, aggressive, gunplay, beat the nigga up, rob him raps. And some people, they want you to just clown your opponent. Some people, they want you to get on stage and say the most exciting sounding stuff. You know, even if it doesn't make sense. Even if it's, you know, shooting a gun and reloading the bullets with the bullets that came out the gun. And then you do a remix. You go back and rewind that. And just like, even it doesn't make sense just because you remixed it. But some people like that stuff. Some people like what they call presence. Just like the poise, the confidence, whatever it is on stage. People watch battle rap for different reasons. There will never be an agreed upon set of rules or whatever that says this is what it takes for us to crown somebody the winner. And because of that, you have to have judges. You have to have multiple judges. And hopefully You pick people that are most credible, that aren't biased, that are going to sit there and going to be like, look, this is who I feel should win based on these criteria, based on all the battles I've seen, based on what I believe is good rapping, good performance, good wordplay, good whatever. This is who I think should win. And that's their singular opinion. And then you have to now judge that singular opinion against the rest of the judges. And at the end of the day, you have a real close battle where people seem on the surface seem to have done just as good as each other. It seems to be very even. And it's all going to come down to preference, and that's what it is. And you know what? The cool thing about that is, that doesn't make it the end of the world in battle rap, is in every other thing that's ever been judged, that's how it is. If it's figure skating, I'm gonna get a little abstract with it. If it's whether or not in basketball something constitutes a foul or something like that, like there's no clean way of doing it. People just go off what they feel, you know. If it's who was a better basketball player, if it's who is a better quarterback in football, if it's who's a better rapper in the industry, like it's all comes down to opinion. So then when you acknowledge and you accept that, you know, as a viewer of battle rap, then it's just like you got to accept whatever the judges have agreed upon or the judges have said is their opinion on who wins. You got to go with that. And it is what it is. These battle rappers, these aren't battles to the death. You're going to see Burt Bucks again. Not only is Burt Bucks down with Tay Rock, who is one of the faces of URL in Cave Gang. Tay Rock's connected to Sue Surf. They're all cool. Burt Bucks is one of the rising faces. This whole Ultimate Madness tournament itself, it wasn't just to crown a winner of $25,000 to be like, you know, this is the best person we got right now. In my opinion, this is ultimately just a showcase of the new crop of talent that URL has been cultivated. The next era of stars. They're trying to find that. You know what? That's my opinion, but I don't know URL's gonna work. And at the end of the day, the judges that were selected don't work for URL. 15 minutes of fame. They interview RBE battles. They interview King of the Dot battlers. They interview basically every battle league around. They don't work for URL. Champion, same thing. They don't work for URL. Black Compass Media is its own thing. They don't work for URL. So you can't even be like, oh, this is just URL. Because I saw in the comments people saying URL is just trying to push Ace Amin. And I think what some of that's coming from is you just see Ace Amin everywhere. He's doing all these interviews of 15 minutes of fame, hip hop is real, whatever. He's on Champion a lot. And all that, realistically, what that can come down to is him putting himself out there. Him putting himself in front of the camera. It's not URL doing that. URL may not. We don't know if URL's sitting there going, you know what, Ace? We gonna book this interview with Uncle Ra for you. You just need to show up and be yourself and whatever. As far as we know, Ace Amin could be out here just doing this by himself. You know, we complained for 3-4 years, you know, oh, these new guys, they don't blog, they don't do X, Y, and Z. The vets, they know how to do this. They know how to get in front of a camera and talk and make the battles interesting and promo and all this stuff. Ace Amin is just doing that. He's just doing what we asked the rookies to do. You can't go flip around and be like, oh, URL is trying to push him. No, he's somebody that has been on URL, regardless if the chokes he's had and whatnot. He has the full package, like it or not. You know, Ace Amin isn't somebody I particularly like in battle rap, but listening to what I listened to on Saturday and the battles I listened to him from him before, he's very talented lyrically. He's on another level than a lot of the new guys that are in battle rap with your basic, ooh, I'm going to pop this person and I'm going to make a random wordplay reference that don't make sense here. Like, that don't apply to my opponent here, but it sound cool. Like, bow, whoop, twerk fingers. Like, he's not doing a lot of that stuff. And you hear him, he can actually rap. if this wasn't battle rap and you took the same battle rappers that are up and coming, a lot of them wouldn't be able to just be in a cipher and stand out. A lot of them sound the same. And unfortunately, if you ask me, Burk Bucks in that battle against Ace Amin didn't do enough to make himself stand out of the crowd of the sea of battle rappers. Just, I'm gonna just bar your fucking head off. You know how many times I've heard people say that? Oh, I'm gonna just bar your fucking head off. And all it is I'm aggressive. I'm a rap. I'm gonna do a bunch of wordplay. I'm gonna shoot you a lot. You know, this, and that. I'm a real nigga. And that's basically all it is. It doesn't elevate to anything beyond that. Now, what kind of almost got him there is when he started in the second round and he was trying to rebuttal what he thought Ace Amin was going to do. And he gave us a look at who he is as a person, which I think is the key. This is just my opinion, because all this is opinion at the end of the day. I think when you start to give more personality in this battle rap thing is when you actually start to win. When you start to do stuff that nobody else is doing, and it shows off how you stand out from the group, is when you start to win. Ace Amin stands out. Like, his style is different. First of all, his cadence is different. The type of words he uses is different. And then on top of that, Ace Amin, people want to say Burk Bucks was just better than him all 3 rounds. I sat there and watched that 3rd round clearly. Ace Amin turned up, and it was a very clear difference in rap class when he turned up. His aggression, his energy, it was, and combined with the level of lyricism he had, Burk Bucks ain't gonna stand up against that, and Burk Bucks doesn't have another level right now, and it just is what it is. And it's not hating against him. He has all the time in the world in battle rap to evolve, and I'm sure he will evolve. But it's just, in this battle, he wasn't the better man, and that's really all judging is, man. Who was better? You know, I think that's what it should be, at least. I don't know what it is these days. People, you know, they want to feel what they want to feel, but, you know, I think it should be who was better. You know, John Real from It's Been Real, the YouTube channel, somebody I find to be credible in battle rap. He always puts it like this: when you watch the battle, at the end of the battle, who would you rather had been? And I think the very easy answer for their battle, Ace Amin and Burk Bucks, is I would have rather been Ace Amin in that situation. He looked more composed. He seemed like the cooler guy. You know, Burk Bucks seemed just kind of like, you know, another face in the crowd. Ace Amin, style-wise, not look, not any of that. Style-wise is different. And it's just like, I'd rather be him. I'd rather be somebody that stands out from the crowd than be another person that just sounds like everybody else. And that's just my take on that. You know, I'm noticing this is getting a little long, so I kind of just want to quickly get into the Hanz versus Bigg Hann situation. Look, people, I watched both Bigg Hann's Hip Hop Is Real interview, as well as Brooklyn Hanz Hip Hop Is Real interview. And honestly, you know, the comments in the comments in the video are very telling that, you know, many people still feel like they want to win. They want who they want to win, and that just is what it is. And I can't knock that, you know, because I was in that same place, man. And it's still battles I watch where I feel like this person should win, but the most people in the comments are like, nah, this person won. And so it is what it is. The only difference is this is judged, so we get to walk away and be like, well, you know, we got to accept that. I know the controversy with this one is, you know, they say that Chico may or may not have tweeted out the link for the fan vote and how many people actually follow Chico. And there was a discrepancy there. Whereas last week they had Jada Nightwing versus Real Sick, and they actually showed the tally of the fan vote and they took time to let it happen. Whereas in the Bigg Hann and Brooklyn Hanz battle, Hand versus Hanz, they kind of announced the judges. They let them do their thing, and then like they were like, all right, we're gonna go to the fans, and then it's like within a couple seconds, they're like, all right, we already have the winner, and it was just like I remember sitting there on caffeine in the stream. I didn't see a link come up. I was sitting there waiting, like, all right, looks like it's going to a fan vote. No link. People in the caffeine live stream chat, they were like, where's the link? And then when the battle, they was like, wait, did y'all vote? I didn't vote. So I it's cool to have those feelings about that controversy. Cause that's kind of a weird move by URL, honestly. It's like, it should have been more accessible to people watching the stream. If not, just something, a link that popped up for like 20, 30 seconds, people could go to and give us like 3 minutes to kind of, plug the link in, do the survey or whatever, who you think won, something, give us something, However they did it last week, I don't know. Remember, I didn't watch the first week. I only watched the second week. So I'm not, that didn't really, it is what it is with that. But let's really get into it. People are, I said I wanted to keep this quick. I'm gonna try to do this. People are getting upset because they feel like Bigg Hann from Philly, he won against Brooklyn Hanz from Brooklyn, obviously. They are saying because Brooklyn Hanz supposedly choked in the second round, and then supposedly in the third round spent all of his round talking about Shotgun Suge, he deserves to lose that battle. And we need to get more into that. So in the second round, first of all, before we even get to the second round, Hanz is rapping. He's doing the regular, battle rap thing. I'm going to be up aggressive on you. I'm going to be, body to body contact. It is what it is. Battle rappers do it all the time. I think he might have like poked him a few times or touched him or something, But he was actually rapping. It wasn't just, I'm just trying to be physical with you and bully you. He was rapping, and he didn't spend his whole round just up on Bigg Hann. Hanz was actually like, I'm going to get a little bit aggressive, but, I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to cross the line or anything. Not going to do anything you don't normally see in battle rap. And this is the first round, right? Bigg Hann was going first. Gave a pretty good round. Then Bigg Hann comes back, raps a little bit, then just takes both hands and shoves the shit out of Hanz. That's not a normal move in battle rap. That's crossing the line. But then, what gets crazy is people want to overlook that, like it didn't happen. They still want to give Bigg Hann the battle 3-0, even though you initiated an altercation. People want to take off points for Brooklyn Hanz for supposedly choking. You got to take points off of Bigg Hann for getting too over the top. I think even Uncle Ra, who's a judge, which, again, I said you got to go with the judges, what they feel. So I'm not, hey, it is what it is. I accept what he said. But I think he was like, big Brooklyn Hanz had less professionalism. Well, Brooklyn Hanz was only retaliating to what Bigg Hann did. But that is what it is. But I mean, you got to play it fair. That happened in the first round. I think that should be a forfeit round if we're going to be giving out forfeit rounds and whatever, saying Bigg Hann lost the second round because the supposed choke, then you got to do that to Bigg Hann. And then he came back with just less energy when they cut the stream and they let, Bigg Hann finish his round. He just didn't have the energy. It's just like, you could tell he didn't, was what it was. He was trying to fight too at that. So it's like, you can't shove somebody, they come back at you and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to fight you. Like it's whatever. It's like, come on, you there doing too much, man. But that's not battle rap. Like, it just is what it is, man. Like, people will probably be like, oh, Ace Amin does the shoulder joint. And yeah, I get that. But, I mean, that's up to the battler to accept that. That's kind of crossing the line to me. If I was a battle rapper, I don't know how I'd feel. I don't know how I'd feel letting that happen. Like, I watched the Bigg Hann Hip Hop Is Real interview, like I said. He said the same thing, man. He said, I don't know about that, If it happens, it happens. But I'm not trying to think about that. He didn't even. That's kind of over the line for him, is what he was alluding to. He may have actually said it directly, but go and watch it for yourselves. Judge for yourself. But all I'm saying is, Bigg Hann took it a step further than that, in my opinion. You don't just go up to somebody and shove them in the chest while you're rapping and just expect them to be like, oh, that's cool. And I think it's just this whole like bully versus bully thing angle. People are trying to label this battle as, and I think some of that man got into Bigg Hann. He was like, I got to prove myself. This dude's taller than me. I got to prove I'm not scared of him. Which is like, Mav Hoffa talks about this a lot. Like, people will rap a certain way, but then when they get to him, now all of a sudden they feel like they gotta be extra tough. They gotta prove, oh, I'm not scared of the bully. And it's just like, but they'll rap against every other battle rapper a different way. But they have to prove themselves. They gotta prove that they're not scared, which is like, you're technically stepping out of character for this particular person, which is kind of a corny thing to do. And I think Bigg Hann kind of fell into that trap by doing that. So that's just how I look at it, how you want to slice it. Brooklyn Hanz won the first round. I don't think that's, even if you just listen to the raps, you listen to the energy Brooklyn Hanz brought, you listen to the wordplay he was bringing, like how believable he was. Like, it's just like, and again, in that situation, who would you rather be? I would have rather been Brooklyn Hanz in that first round. It just is what it is. We get to round 2. Now, Brooklyn Hanz sets it off again. He's rapping, you got Bigg Hann burping and cracking up his water bottle and all this other stuff. And, Hanz is like, come on, man, you're doing too much. Like, he stops and actually says that. And then, after one of those situations, people calling it a choke. We keep calling things chokes that aren't chokes. A choke is 8 Mile. Eminem battles whatever the guy's name was, does not finish his round. A choke is Loaded Lux. First round versus Calico. He spit a certain amount of bars, then he just stopped because he couldn't remember the rest of his round. Those are chokes. You choke up and cannot continue. Then there are stumbles. A stumble is you have a slip of the tongue. You rap and you pronounce something wrong. You pronounce something different. I watched the Ace Amin versus Bucks battle. Ace Amin, he pronounced something wrong. And then I watched, because I've been in it. I'm sure you've probably been in this situation before. He pronounced somebody's name wrong. He looked like he acknowledged it and went back, said the bar again because to repronounce the person's name the right way. That's a slip up. That's the stumble. That's not a choke. That's more of a slip up than a stumble, because a stumble is you going yeah, but I shot him. No, it's like you kind of struggling to get through the bar, but you get through the bar. That's a stumble. A slip up is you say something the wrong way. This, I hate to say it. Ill Will's one of my favorites, but Ill Will finger fucking a nigga instead of finger fucking a Nina. That was a slip up. That was a major slip up. It was one of the funniest ones because it's like, really, you just said that, and you knew he was mad. He messed that up. But that's a slip up. Big Brooklyn Hanz took a pause, composed himself, and then just started the bar over. He didn't stop his round there. That's not a choke. That's a stumble. And if you want to be like, oh well, Bigg Hann didn't do it. Bigg Hann didn't do that, so he should deserve to get the W. I think you're going off of this kind of meritocracy situation where it's like, oh well, all somebody has to do is they just have to rap and they have to get through their rhymes clean, and that's it. And I think ultimately, this is my opinion. There's no universal law. There's no we all agree on this. But it's like, it's more to battle rap than just having the best bars and just rapping clean. Like, it should be about that, but it isn't. We decided a long time ago in battle rap as a collective culture Whether you want to agree with this or not, it's what the people decided. That people want moments and not just raps. Because if it was just raps, J Fox would have skyrocketed on URL back in the day when after he battled Juicezilla and their PG, whatever. That would have happened, you know. What else? What's his name? Rich Dollars would have skyrocketed. Yeah, he stumbled a couple battles, but he battled Tech 9. He didn't choke that battle. He had wordplay. He had everything. He got through his rhymes clean. But people still at that time said he lost to Tech 9 because Tech 9, he was just more entertaining than him. And that's what it is. There's also the element of entertainment. There's also the element of who's better in this battle. And I hate to say it, you know, some people just don't match up with other people. And I don't think Bigg Hann, from the moment I saw the face off where they did it on Champion with Jay Black, I was looking at Bigg Hann's body language and I looked at Brooklyn Hanz body language and I listened to stuff they were saying. I listened to energy they had towards each other. Something was just off about Bigg Hann. Something was just like, this guy's energy, there's something wrong with it. He's just not. And I'd watched Bigg Hann battles before that. I watched the Verbal War Zone with DNA. I watched a few other battles with him. He's all right. He's an all right battle rapper. He's not great. And he's an older dude, so I don't know if he has that much development left in his tank. You know, I don't know if he's going to get any better. He might be at his ceiling, honestly. And you heard that. You heard the difference. You heard the passion in Brooklyn Hanz's voice. Bigg Hann was giving everything he could. And unfortunately, Brooklyn Hanz was just a level above that in that battle. You know, regardless of the slip up or whatever, even in the third round, it just was what it was. You can't just be like, oh, he rapped. We tricked ourselves as a culture in battle rap to think, oh, because he did this wordplay and it makes sense and I get what he's saying, that means it's fire. Every fucking thing in battle rap is fire these days, and I don't understand it. It's been that way for the last 6 years, since 2014. I don't know what people's obsession is being like, oh, that's fire. Just because he had a cool, there should be a level under fire. Because everything can't be fire, man. If everything's fire, then fire don't mean shit. There should be a level under that's fire. That was nice. Fire should be there's a lot of bars that go over in battle rap with people cheer and everything. That are nice bars. They're good. They're nice. They're decent wordplay. But in this era of battle rap, they're not setting the bar of this is where you need to be. And that's what I think fire is supposed to be. Fire is supposed to be yo, did you just hear what it? It shouldn't be some run of the mill I respect that. Because that's how people be sounding when they say this stuff is fire. It should be, I'm glad I woke up today and heard this. That's what fire is. At least to me. I don't know how y'all view it. I don't know how y'all gonna judge it, but Brooklyn, Han had maybe one or two in that battle. But as I was watching it, I can't remember much of what he watched. So I went and watched through another YouTuber. He did his live reactions. I think it's Battle Rap's Fanatic. I was watching I was listening to him. I was watching his reaction video to the battle. And that's the only way I could get the bars right now because the battle's not actually out. Well, I don't have the app. I'm not planning on getting the app. If it's on the app, then that's different. But yeah, man, I was listening to the bars, kind of tuning out his reactions and whatnot. And yeah, man, the stuff Han was saying, he said people want to get on. I saw somebody say, oh yeah, well, Brooklyn Hanz had a can sir bar. That's OBC. You can't give him, you got to take points off of that. And that's cool. But then Bigg Hann in the second round, in the round he supposedly won because he didn't slip up, he said something like the 40, what is it? He used a very specific word. The 40 will draw, it's like when you use it's a word, I can't think of it. It's like when you use a needle to like draw like blood out. He said something like that, but he didn't say draw. It's like the 40 will do this to bone marrow. And it's like a gun can't suck out bone marrow from your bones. It just can't. That's basically what he was saying the gun was going to do. And then he came back in the third round and said the same shit about bone marrow, just with different words. And it's like he recycled his own bars in the same battle. You got to take points off for that, man. I guess this, like you that uncreative. You gonna talk about doing the shit to a nigga's bone marrow twice in the same battle? Like, come on, bro. Like, get out of here, man. I think, Brooklyn Hanz deserved to win, honestly. Went to the fans, as they say. The real controversy here is we didn't see the fan vote. Like, that is what it is. That fan vote, I was there in the stream on Caffeine, watching all 4 battles. I did not see a fan vote thing come up. Unless it was, as the battle's going on, people are, like, making their comments. It's like, oh, so-and-so 2-1, or this person 3-0. And then people are like constantly liking those posts. Unless that's what they use to judge who won, then it's a little bit different. But then even with that, I have a feeling, because you only get to see like 5 or 6 comments at one time. And if a comment is only up there for like 5 seconds, if you don't like it in time, it doesn't stay up. And even if you like it, it still might disappear. So I have a feeling that a lot more than 5-6 people at a time are posting about these battles as they're going on. So if we can't see all of the comments that are going on, something needs to be done about that. There needs to be like official like URL comments that post kind of on the side of the video that everybody can see. And if that's the one that leads to the link of, hey, this is the voting for the fan voting. This is where you go. Then I'm for that. It can't be what I'm assuming it is. I don't know. So I'm like, I'm not going to even assume. All I know is they do need to fix. They do need to do something that's more transparent as far as the voting. Because what I saw in week 2, I don't think that's acceptable. I think the right man won just off of who I felt more. Even though, again, like I said in the beginning of this, it's all opinion based. So that's just my opinion. But I see a lot of people hurt like Bigg Hann was just this Goliath in this battle, and he did everything in his power to win, and it's just like, nah, he was fairly average. Nothing really game changing with what he was saying, and that just is what it is, man. Like, I don't know. This is just my opinion. I've been at this way longer than I thought I was gonna be, so it's gonna be a long video, but yeah. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments, man. Yeah, and I'm out. Peace.